Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Bar Z. My name's Stan, and I'm your host for. I think we're on week number 6 out here at our trailer manufacturing place. We screwed around with the portals, as seen here. Well, here was the big drama with these with the portals, or also known as a conveyor keyhole. They should have built them in lefts and rights, and this is what caused all the confusion. You see here, these are only welded or they're not welded on one side. They're welded on the 3 other sides on all the tubes, so the sheet metal skins will lay flat, so they don't have to grind. Well, that's fine and dandy, but then they made them all either left hand or right hand, which is another relative term. And there's the conveyor key there. And you see the conveyors offset over to the side for the pin, but they made all 4 of them the same. So they should have made 2 lefts, 2 rights. Yeah. So what I need to do is I rolled the big MIG over. We're going to go ahead and weld all this side, flip them, and then grind the welds flat. So the sheet metal skins, I've got all the sheet metal skins all laid out over here. So all the sheet metal skins will lay down flat. And then we can screw the sheet metal skins down tight, stand them up, and install them. But that was that's what caused the drama in the first place, because they didn't make me my lefts and rights, and that's what triggered the first set of phone calls to try to figure out which way to offset the portal. And we finished up all the B decking, and we slid. I was going to show you how those slide in real quick. They were just sliding them in with a 2x4 after you get the channels in right. They slip right in, so this is how we do that. Part's done. We actually took a day off, got my hair cut, and did a few things. You know, the only day off we usually have is Sundays, and all the barbershops are closed, so I haven't been able to cut my hair in over a month now. So felt good to get my hair cut. We went and got a few things, a few sundries for the job site. I was out of portaband blades and just got to do some shopping and actually think about it, not do it just in a big old rush. So we were able to get some stuff done. So this is probably going to be a short week. You know, we took a day off, mainly because we didn't have a truck. What we're waiting on now is the rest of our high reach stuff for the oven, so we can finish our high reach work, and then we can start on the floors. After we put the floors in, it's an insulated floor. You can't take scissor lifts inside the oven anymore. So we need to make sure that everything up high is done, otherwise it's ladders and scaffolding only, and nobody likes that. All right, so let's get into it a little bit. Let's show you the portals. Let's show you the finished B deck inside the one oven that we finished over the weekend and Monday, and then Tuesday we took off. Today is Wednesday morning, so we're going to see what the rest of this week has in store for us. It's going to be a short week. It's only Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, so we'll see what we can get done in the next couple of days. All right, enjoy. Okay, well, you will notice that I'm missing a panel here and a panel here. We went to skin them, and we didn't have the right. Their shear cut list was wrong, so we're missing a couple panels. We'll hang those in the air, no big deal. It's really easy when they're laying flat. You just lay the sheets on there and do your screwing. These are held in with tech screws right into the tubing, right into the square tube, and they clamshell together up top. Notice my pin side is on the left. This is the entry side of the oven, so the parts are coming through here. Pin side is actually on the right. Before the first picture I showed you last week, it was on the left side. So pin side on the right, entry, pin side on the left, exit. And basically the whole system, if they had just said, hey, pins face away from heater, there's the heater there, that would have been easy to navigate. But we've got our offset correct after a bunch of time on the phone with the engineers. So we got the portals all worked out. Sheet metal should be on my truck today that's coming. Wednesday morning. So these are hung, and like I say, they just clamshell together. All we do is, this one's not welded yet, it's just clamped. Got a couple diamide clamps on there, and that pulls them together nicely. And just do a stitch weld there, and then there's another stitch weld up top above the conveyor. Way up top there. We actually had to remove one of those blue horseshoes, those blue hangers right there. We had to remove one of those. It landed just exactly where our portal keyhole went, so it was in the way. We had to cut it out. They're going to replace it. The conveyor guys are going to come back and weld a new one in either before or after that portal. All right, and then we're due for another portal that goes on this opening here, but this one's an air knife, so it'll be another keyhole that goes in around that. It'll clamshell in too, but that's an air knife, and it'll have a couple blowers that keep the heat within the oven. This part of the oven is insulated, and this part out here is just single skin. So the air knife takes the air from this vestibule, this area right here, and forces it in through the keyhole slot. It's got a slot all the way around that forces air in at a very high velocity. Well, I thought I'd show you a cross section of the floor. The gray is the B deck. Those are the channels, and the channels were all spaced out at intervals so we can just lay in the insulation. So that's the cross section of the whole floor. After the B deck's in, it's done. And that our return ductwork sits directly on top of that. All right, but that's how it goes in. We're just going to keep stacking them up across. We left ourselves a place to walk over here and just fill it up. Now, on a side note, we did start on the floors in here. We got all the B deck down up to a certain point, because we're still not done with our high reach work yet for lack of parts. Oh, floor stops right there. So that's the end of the floor. We've insulated the floor all the way up to there. All the channels are welded in, done, everything's screwed down. We're waiting on a little bit of capping. We don't have some of that. So there's capping that goes on there in between the columns to close off that insulation there. And I'm still waiting on the parts to go from that duct down to that opening, which is the last of my high reach work. After the high reach work is done, you know, I've got a clean floor here. I can still drive a scissor lift and a forklift in here. But as soon as that floor goes down, not happening. So we don't have that. Anyways, so we're at a stop on the ovens, but you know what? And I was hoping to have these done before Gima got here, but you know what? It's powder booth time, so ovens are gonna have to go back burner. Well, good morning, guys, and happy Friday. We've got a few new developments. You know, we're scrambling for stuff to do. We didn't get any parts from for the ovens, but we do know a few things. Our cyclones came in early for the powder booth, and I'm going to show you those. We worked all day yesterday, which was Thursday. We worked all day yesterday getting those uncrated and in close to their position in the vicinity, and just seeing what we got, make sure there's no shipping damage. These things came all the way from the Netherlands, so they cleared customs early. They brought them down. They hit port of entry New York, and then they brought them down to us from there. So we're going to go look at the cyclones. They are in a left and right configuration. Tell you what, we're going to look at the plans first, show you how they go in, and then show you what we did yesterday on the cyclones. And the cyclones are very interesting. It's a kind of a mechanical filter, and it uses centrifugal force and a cyclonic effect to strip the powder away from the airstream. So we're going to go look at those. It is Friday morning. I don't see a lot getting done today except more unpacking and more cleaning and more preparation for the gentleman from Gima is going to be here Monday, and we're going to start assembling this stuff, and we have yet to find any assembly drawings. which is all I've got is general drawing. So I would like to put some stuff together today. I'm perfectly capable of it, but with the left and right configurations, if I screw it up, it's gonna we're gonna have to work backwards and start taking stuff apart, and I really don't like paying for the same real estate twice. So let's look at the plans, and then we'll walk around and look at the cyclones for the GEMA. Take a look at the blowers. The blowers are substantial, and I'll even show you the mufflers. The mufflers are the blowers are real noisemakers, so we're gonna show you the mufflers that go on those things, and they help an awful lot. They snub off quite a bit of decibel. All right, let's go have a look at the plans. Okay, so literally this is the only drawing I have. This is a cyclone here. As you can see, it's in a left-hand configuration. This is a cyclone here, and you can see it is in a right-hand configuration. And the base units, which is the lower cone, there's a lower cone, intermediate snail shell with a cone, and then an upper snail shell. And all three are separate pieces, and you can bolt them on any way. They're on a radial pattern, and they bolt together. And I'm going to go show you these two units. They poured my pads outside yesterday, so I can't set any equipment out here yet. I've got these blowers here, which I'll take and go show you, and I've got these dust collectors here. There's two dust collectors right there. Now what's interesting about this is the spray booth, or actually two spray booths. The air gets extracted from the spray booth, goes through the cyclone, out through the dust collector, through the blower. So the blower is drawing vacuum on the whole thing. These are high static blowers. Then the air comes right back, and you can see this duct right here. They take the air right back into the building, and here we've got another HEPA cartridge right here, and they're blowing the air right back into the building here and here. So that's the pattern of airflow, extracted from the booths through a cyclone, dust collector, blower, muffler, back into the building, and the air is clean enough to blow it right back into the building after we've done all our filtration. All right, but let's go. This looks really small on paper and really simple, but let's go look at it in reality. It's pretty substantial. Okay, cyclones we brought in yesterday. There's one over there, and there's one right there. They ship horizontal. We had to stand them up. They look like they're just painted, but if you look inside, I got no way to show you inside. Those are all stainless steel. That's a stainless steel cone. That is just one open cone, nothing inside, no baffles, nothing like that. I'm going to go show you the rest of it. There's the other one right there. And we had to bring that one down that aisle. So these are the lower cones that I was telling you about on the drawing. And they sit up on those legs. There's legs right there. But you see that little bung that's welded in right there? And there's another one right there. That bung right there needs to face a certain direction, and I don't know what direction. So if I get these put together wrong, I'm screwed. But those are the legs that go on it, and they bolt down there to the bottom, and these things sit up quite a bit higher. I'd say another 4 feet. All right. Anyways, on top of that lower cone goes these snail shells, and you can see they're built left and right. And that's a cone sticking down there, and that cone sits down inside those other cones. And this is all mechanical. There's no filtration or anything in these things at all. So we call these the intermediate snail shells with a cone. This is the upper snail shell. And the upper snail shells, these just sit right on top up here. But these assemblies here go on top of those over there. So it's legs, intermediate snail, upper snail. And both are in lefts and rights. And they just bolt together on a radial flange right here. Alright, but it's nice. They give us picking eyes. We can pick it pretty much anywhere we want. There's picking eyes all the way around. We just throw shackles in there and hoist it up and drop it on. And then there's your upper snail right there. And again, nothing special in there. Just no baffles or anything. It's just a large Nautilus. We do have one port here. There's one port that has to go to just to get a little bit of vacuum, I do believe, to one spot. Outside, they poured our slabs yesterday, so these are still too green for us to set any equipment on. I don't want to take a chance of cracking that concrete. Let's walk over. The boys are bringing blowers over right now. We had those inside the building, and these are now ready to install. And even the blowers are left and right. So the blowers left hand, right hand. And I showed you the one on the oven. That was substantial. This dude here, horsepower right there, 75. She's a big one. Anyways, these make tons of noise. Let me show you the inlet real quick. This is a spark-proof type of blower. It's an aluminum blower wheel. So even if there's a blower failure, it won't create a spark inside of the duct. And I promised you mufflers, but my guys got them covered up right now. These are the mufflers here. We got them covered on top in case it rains. So we don't really have any good way to show you the muffler inside. But the decibel reduction is quite substantial. They sit right on top of these units here and deaden the sound before we send the air back into the building. Well, we had a little time to ourselves, so we actually went downtown, and there was an old General Electric building, and they call it the Electric Works, but it was really cool architecture, and I just enjoyed my time over at this old building that has been repurposed. There's a food court and microbrewery, little places, and it's pretty cool. Here's a couple video clips of that place. And I find it ironic that the General Electric building, built in the late 1800s, was riveted together and not electrically welded. So I find it ironic that those were all hot-headed rivets in that whole place holding that thing together. Pretty cool. And for all you welding guys out there, you're gonna love these shutoffs on these welding bottles. What'd you think of that? You can tell from a distance whether it's on or off. Simple flip of the wrist and that thing is shut down. Flip it up, it's on. No gas wasted. No time walking all the way over to the welder. Go, oh man, did I forget to turn the gas off? I can't tell. Just one glance and you know. I wish those things would go mainstream. Those are actually borrowed from the customer, but pretty cool for all you welding guys. Well, late Friday, and look what showed up. I got my return duct done. That's some of the high reach. I got one more thing to do up high with a scissor lift, and I got to go up there and cut one hole in that lid of the oven for an exhaust fan. After that, we're going to move on to floor. See, as you can tell, after the floor's in, you don't drive scissor lifts in here no more. You would crush that B deck. So that's the last thing I got to do on Friday. This is pretty much the end of my day. We're working Saturday, so come Monday morning, this floor should be done. I should be able to get that knocked out pretty quick, a few hours on Saturday, and then we'll be ready for the GEMA folks on the powder booth. So it'll be good to see this oven substantially complete. And not the other one. The big one's not going to be done, but at least the little one's done. We have a little time left in the day. I'm up on the roof of the oven. This is a small dry-off oven. And we're cutting in a exhaust opening there, right next to a rib. And there's another rib inside the panel for stiffness. And we wanted to make sure we didn't cut through. So that box slips through that opening. We've got channeling to cap the opening when we're done. So we have to cut the skin on top, dig out the insulation, cap it. That box drops through the hole, and that box has got an open side, goes to that open square on the side of the duct, and the blower just slides over, bolts down, done. And then all we have to do is make sure it's going to fit on the oven, and that's got a straight shot through the roof. So we're good. We're all set to punch this one through. All right, guys, this is the end of the video. I hope you guys had a good week. This is your Saturday morning video, so enjoy it. And we'll see you again next week with episode number 7 is next week. This is episode 6. All right, guys, thanks for watching.